it to you straight with no filter. Danny B wins.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the show. Andy and I took a week off.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of shit going on in our lives.
It's been crazy.
Crazy. Andy, you got drama for once, huh?
That's right, yeah.
We're going to talk about that. Andy's in the lawsuit.
It's been nuts.
Andy's in the middle of a lawsuit, possibly, for taking pictures. That's fucked up, Andy.
I recently started my own business, and when I was younger, I signed a non-compete, and I did not realize, I mean, technically I was an adult, but they should probably keep adulthood to the age of like 25 because you just, I mean,
don't
it's
even
like,
sweat it,
it's
man.
crazy.
It's bullshit.
But yeah, so I'm under my first lawsuit. It's been kind of a heavy week.
So basically, they don't want you taking pictures in the Lehigh Valley.
Yeah, they don't want me
what
to
a crime.
be able
What a bad guy you are, Andy.
I know.
Shame on you.
Yeah.
You criminal, you. Ain't Andy. Moses,
Yeah.
What do you think of this guy?
I know, seriously, but yeah,
Fucking Andy.
It's been tough.
The Flash, man.
But yeah, I'm gonna push through. I'm not gonna let it beat me down. Trying to stay positive with this whole thing, and hopefully everybody. I appreciate everybody's support. It's been really nice. But
I'm gonna celebrate by getting a big tattoo tomorrow too, right on that shoulder.
Fuck yeah. I'm going.
You're inking up, Andy.
I'm going full sleeve by an amazing artist. His name's Nick Kaiser out of Phoenixville, Pennsylvania. So I'll be able to show some of my ink.
Where's he from, Pennsylvania?
He's Phoenixville. It's about an hour and a half. It's close to Philly. Oh shit!
That's not the Avon, man.
Here it comes.
Philly Godfather.
What's up, my man? What's going on?
How's it going?
We're doing well. We were just talking about, Andy has drama this week. He's getting sued for taking pictures. Andy's,
what?
Oh, he signed a non-compete with his old boss. He's a photographer, the Flash man. And he just got hit with a lawsuit for taking pictures out of character, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, it's been...
Well, how do you get sued for taking pictures? What the fuck's up?
I guess it's one of those things where...
You didn't know she was only 13, Andy. That's not your fault.
Just...
Yo, Andy. Is that really what's going on?
No, yeah. Well, the lawsuit's real, but not for an underage photo shoot or anything. But I started a business with a friend of mine. We've been photographing weddings for years, but unfortunately, when I was younger, I signed a non-compete that I really was not educated on. I mean, I was 19, so technically I was an adult, but I was just telling Danny adulthood should probably start around 25 because I really had no idea what I was.
When did you sign? How many years ago?
It was, it's crazy. We're going to a lawyer today to try and figure it all out, but I signed it 7 years ago, and...
but you quit. He quit after the fact.
Yeah, I actually quit the
company. That violates
once.
it, and then you come back. So to me, that shit's out the window.
That shit's out the window. That shit ain't going to hold up.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even worry about that.
Nah,
Go to the lawyer. He'll take care of it. Throw it out.
Yeah, we're hoping we could see it through, but I was just telling Danny, like, we've both been going through a whole lot of stuff, and it's just trying to stay positive, man, and doing this podcast and having a lot of fun. Yeah. So we're enjoying each other's company, and... I mean, we're glad to have you on to just talk shit and have fun.
Good to be back after a week hiatus. It was a crazy week. Big weekend up for you, the Philly Golf. Started off Friday night with BYU. You smoked them on Saturday. Haven't spoken to you since Saturday, but we have a big game going off tonight, man. It's a must-win for Atlanta. The Jets obviously can use a W. You want to share some thoughts on this game tonight?
Yeah, I mean, it's line 10 points. The total's kind of low. It's 44. The Jets got a real good defense this year, and Atlanta has been struggling. I was going over the numbers, and the Jets have actually played the better teams with better defenses.
Okay.
The 4 teams they've played so far, their average is they're averaging in the top 10 in defense. So they've actually played the better defensive teams, and that's probably why Geno Smith has looked so bad. While New England, they've been losing some close games. They lost to the Saints 23-17. They lost to the Dolphins 27-23. They lost to the Patriots. And they beat a real bad Rams team, so they really haven't impressed anyone. They're kind of one-dimensional. Steven Jackson isn't playing again, so they're not going to be able to run. So as long as you can cover their banged-up wide receivers, that's another problem they got. Roddy White's banged up. Julio Jones is banged up. They had limited practice during the week. As long as you can cover them, I think the game could be close here, man.
That's a lot of points. 10 and a hook. It's up to 10.5. The total is at 45, unless you got in earlier. The Jets have played some tough defenses, and... it was a tough weekend for some teams yesterday, especially Dallas. To have 500 and plus yards for Romo, to end it off Romo-like, an interception, that was a big spread. I know the public liked the Broncos yesterday.
We were all over the Cowboys. We ended up going, I think, 4-6 on the side yesterday, and we split the totals. We had the under in the Green Bay because Megatron wasn't playing, and we had that under in the Kansas City game, which actually lost. at the end there. But I mean, the game should have fell under. But it was, you get your good weeks, your bad weeks.
But you
didn't make no money at Delaware State Park this week, but when you win four straight weeks in a row, you're going to expect to lose one week, especially when you're getting paid 5.5 to 1 on your money with those parlay cards. So right now we can lose the rest of the year at Delaware State Park and we'll end up breaking even because we've already hit 4 weeks. You know what I mean?
Oh shit!
Yeah, I know, and it's tough. I mean, but as a Cowboy fan, to watch that, I'm like, oh, how Romo like. I mean, 500. He almost had the record's 560 yards, I think, by Norm Van Brocklin back in the day. But I was rooting him in, man. It was a good game, a good weekend. A couple of teams caught a loss finally. Who lost yesterday? Patriots and Seattle. I knew Seattle was in for a tough one. I knew it. I had a feeling luck was going to come through yesterday. Did you guys touch that game?
Yeah, we had the Colts. The reason why we took the Colts was Seattle had back-to-back. They had to travel 2 weeks in a row from the West Coast to the East Coast. They were overperforming the market. They've covered the spread 4 weeks in a row. And I actually had the Colts as a small favorite in that game of 2 points. And I thought the Colts should win the game, and that's exactly what happened. Due to the circumstances, because that line was inflated by the odds makers, knowing that everyone's going to jump on Seattle, they should have been a small dog. They were a small favorite. And Andrew Luck did his job, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and you were out there also earlier in the week. It's been a good year for you. You picked up a couple of new cars. You were tweeting them out. What is that? A Trans Am, the white one, right? Very nice.
Damn.
Very nice.
Yeah, I mean, the only blemish on the car is it's not a factory sunroof, so it was aftermarket sunroof. Usually they come as a hard top or T-tops.
Right.
But other than that, the car is completely clean. It's got a 403 olds in it, 6.6-liter engine. The interior was sharp. It needs a paint job. I'm gonna go down to my buddy. He's got a body shop down here in Philly. I'm gonna have him paint it.
A chop shop or a body shop?
The factory, you know what I mean?
Did you say a chop shop or a body shop?
Nah, maybe a chop shop too. It's a body shop.
Oh, that was big in New York back in the day. I remember you wanted your car gone. You just left it in a certain place at a certain time of night. That thing was never to be found again.
Yeah, that's so funny. I was born and raised in Long Island, New York, and I remember as a small boy people talking about a chop shop, like, oh, I need to get rid of this car. I'm gonna leave it in the Walmart parking lot, and then I'll never see it again. And
Well, the biggest move was you would go to the movies, and you'd come out, and your car was gone. You know what I mean? You bought a ticket to the movies just in case.
Right.
Yeah.
You call up the cops, they come out, where's your car? I don't know, I was at the movies. Here's my ticket stuff. Pop, 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 and you're covered. You know what I mean? That was the move back in the day.
Always got to cover your ass. Always got to cover your ass. Yeah, it was a literally.
It's crazy how much it was a much simpler time, but that was before the internet, like pre-internet days and stuff, before you could track everything. And it just seems like it's crazy. We have the ability to talk, via the internet and have things like a podcast and stuff, but there are some things that I would enjoy from simpler times,
I agree.
There's some positives, there's some negatives that come,
Absolutely.
With all this technology, and hopefully the positives outweigh the negatives.
Oh, totally.
You know what? 90% of the people on the internet are good dudes. You got a small percentage, like in life. Period.
Oh, yeah.
There's always that one or two bad apples, and that's the way it is. Yeah, I had a rough week. I took some time off of Twitter. My mom was in it's weird. My dad, Andy. I never really saw him, but one time in my life. So it's ironic. My mother and I don't have a great relationship, but she's not doing good, so I'm trying to, kindle it.
Yeah, totally.
So Saturday she gets rushed to the hospital because she ain't moving. She's laying in the bed all depressed, no circulation. So out of nowhere, my real name, I was raised by my grandparents. That's where I'm given the Bianculo name. But my real name is Hoyle. My father's real name was Fred Hoyle, and out of nowhere, he Facebooks us. So I'm saying, how fucking ironic. My mom's possibly going to die, and then a guy I only met once in my life who said, I don't know if I'm your dad, surfaces. So it was a rough week, and all the other shit, all the drama on the internet. So I just
you got a bunch of haters out there, Dan.
Yeah.
You can't worry about that.
No, I'm not. No, but I'm saying it was just rough personally because my mom, I don't, of course don't want to see anything happen, but I'm like, this is fucked up. My mom's gonna die, and then I'm gonna meet my dad. Then he's making a cappuccino, please. I'll take a cappuccino.
Sit over here at the coffee shop. They're fucking making something back there.
A cafe latte. That's a cafe latte. But anyway, I wake up to play with the kid this morning, and he shuts the door, bangs me. So don't think I was fighting anybody. I got a nice little Nice little mark on
Yeah,
my
for-
face. Boom! Where is that kid? Hey, Chase!
For those
You little bastard.
those people listening on iTunes, Danny's got a huge, like almost a gash on his face from the door. But I walked into the house today and I was like, Danny, did it finally go down? Did you go fisticuffs with one of these guys? And he's like, no, I just got a
I'm
door
too
to the
old,
face.
man. I'm too old to fight anybody. That's ridiculous anyway. But no, he bashed me good, and then he's all mad at me, right? He's supposed to come on the show and say sorry. Jace, buddy, where are you?
Camera shot.
So anyway, so you say tonight it's safe to take a shot at the Jets plus the 10.5, as bad as they
I mean,
are.
it's a lot of points, man. Listen, Atlanta's real one-dimensional. Steven Jackson ain't playing. They got some guys that are banged up, too. Their middle linebackers out. Their left tackle's out. So, these teams aren't healthy. Julio Jones is banged up. Roddy White's banged up. Tony Gonzalez is 100 years old, but he's actually playing pretty good this year. And the Jets, their defense is pretty good, man. They're number 14 against the pass. They're 4th overall, and they're number 1 against the rush, which Atlanta isn't going to be running the ball tonight. And even if they tried, they couldn't run on this team unless Steven Jackson had a breakout game. But like I said, he ain't playing. So, as long as Geno Smith doesn't throw some picks, I see them covering the spread because Atlanta's defense, they're really not that good, man. They're not, the top echelon. Their overall defense is 26th in the league, I think. They're 27th against the pass, 21 against the rush. So as long as Geno, holds the ball and they play conservative, they're going to keep this game close.
So do you think it'll be a high scoring? It's up to 45 or a low scoring game?
I think it's going to be a low-scoring game, man. I don't see these teams scoring a lot of points, especially offensively. Both these teams are banged up. I think Santonio Holmes is out tonight, so Geno's going to have one less guy to throw to. And like I said, Atlanta's receivers are banged up. Jets got a real good defense. I don't see them. To me, this is like a 2017 game, a 2014 game, something in that nature. Just from looking over the numbers, looking over the injury reports. Atlanta doesn't. Their pass rush isn't that good either, so they can't really get to Geno Smith. So I expect them to have some time where he'll make less mistakes tonight. And I think it's going to be a close game. If anything, I would take the Jets and under.
Well, you do throw out your teaser alerts. Is this a situation to maybe tease?
I think more than likely this is one of those teaser alerts, man, where you can
like
grab
that.
17.5 on the Jets.
Sure.
You can go under 51. I think that's the way to bet.
I was thinking because it is tough and it's a one-game board, and when you're in the business that we're in, you have members that count on you. So I guess that would be a safe bet. I like personally waiting for the weekends when there's multi-games to choose from, because there's more options. But, yeah, I would say that was my sentiment. But then again, anything can happen. But I'm not a big teaser. I notice you use teasers. Is there a certain time, Godfather, that you prefer to tease, or is a number that you look for a tease?
You're looking for certain games, certain situations where you can find a little bit of an edge. If you are betting a teaser, we bet them for smaller amounts, and we don't go crazy with them because you're laying 120 juice. But certain times, certain situations, a teaser might be the right way to go. As long as you win more than you lose, you're getting an extra 7 points on both sides. And usually, if it's correlated, like tonight, Jets and under, then that might be a good position for you. You know what I mean?
Teaser alert! Teaser alert!
Hey, do they still do open parlays anymore? I haven't.
I don't think too many people like to do that anymore, man. Well, we don't do them. I don't know, if you got a local, he might be able to do it. You know what I mean? But we don't really even look into that no more.
Yeah, I remember that was a big thing. Open parlays. You'd have to close them by a certain day of the week, and
too much paperwork, too much tracking.
Oh yeah,
who's got time for that crap?
We used to,
and going back to the Jets, teams actually played pretty good the first couple weeks of the season against some real good defenses. So going up against Atlanta's defense, their defensive line is horrible. Like I said, their overall defense sucks. I think he's actually going to look okay tonight, man.
You know who looked bad? That Schwab, man. He's looked
horrible.
horrible.
God, he sucks, man. He's worse than Romo. He's low. At least Romo can play. That job just plain sucks.
Yeah, he was one of the better quarterbacks the last couple of years, right? And now he ain't shit. I watched him last night, and he just looked pathetic, So
he's lost his confidence. I think he threw like 5 pick sixes on the year, which is fucking nuts if you think about it. I can't remember the last quarterback that did that. And I guess he's lost his confidence. And, I know I just turned the game off last night. I had him on some of the parlay cards because we were getting a real good number.
Yes.
We got plus 6.5 on the parlay cards. I think the game went down to 4. So you got to take it. There was some value there just in the number as a number play. But they just suck bad, man.
You know what it is? It's living with your decisions. I know that you don't even look at matchups; you look at numbers, and a lot of times, you got to be as consistent as you guys are. You have to stick to what you do, and you can't veer from it. Do you think that most people they push the panic button too fast in this business? What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, you can't chase, man. Just because you had a losing week in the NFL or in college, you can't go crazy and try and get it all back in one chunk. And you got to really, go back through the games. Like, I'm a big proponent of, all right, on Tuesday, I'll jump on my NFL Rewind, and I'll go through every game. And I'll see, okay, well, why did we lose this game? Was there turnovers that weren't supposed to happen? Was there too many penalties that were, an anomaly in the game? Were too many things, too many variables that we can't predict happening in that game, even though we handicapped the game the right way. So you go back, you go through the games on film, and and sometimes you feel better. Okay, well, you know what? If this guy doesn't fumble the ball, if this guy doesn't drop 4 passes, if this quarterback doesn't fumble the ball, everything would have worked out the same way. So there's certain things you can't handicap. So you can't, if things go bad, you can't worry about that. But as long as you handicap it the right way, you'll be okay. You know what I mean?
That's what I say too. You put your bets in right, then it's kind of up to Lady Luck a little bit after that. And there's always going to be bad calls. There's always going to be that turnover or the injury that's definitely out of your control. So
I want to throw this out there. For those listening, what Philly was just talking about is pretty interesting to me. You're, as far as the service goes, you're paying for you're paying so little. And then you have guys obviously like you, Philly Godfather, and then also Danny, who are spending so much time. These guys are watching the games. They're going over the analytics. They're paying attention to who's injured. I mean, the value is so much more than the price. To me, it's almost stupid not to be able to go with these guys.
Yeah, and you know what
it's
else?
Crazy.
Plus, you gotta have the right network. I'll give you an example. I was driving that Trans Am. I'm on 42. I'm coming from Philly. I'm going to a buddy's house in Jersey. And I piggyback, if I know Billy on a game or one of the sharper guys on the game, I'll bet their games. I get a text saying that Billy buried, I think it was Auburn. So I had to actually pull over, make a bunch of phone calls, text it out to a bunch of people, call the office, make sure they buried that game. And, sometimes, it's a 24-hour a day thing. You got to really pay attention to what's really going on. You got to know who's betting what. Because let's be honest, Billy's the sharpest gambler in the world. And if I know he buried a game, well, you know what? I'm going to piggyback that game.
Absolutely. And you guys are super sharp. And I think what people don't realize is you have to have a certain vision for this game. You have to have a certain analytical mind. And for your customers or people who are interested in this podcast,
members. Customers sounds awful.
Yeah,
members.
Members. For the members who are joining, the crew, you want to be able to pay for that vision. You want to be able to get a piece of that action. And being around some of the wisest guys in the business, I feel pretty honored to be able to catch some of this knowledge. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, there's a lot of decisive reasoning behind what we do. There's a lot of math. We're looking for footprints of patterns of previous games. Like I said, that Seattle Colts game, teams that have covered 4 weeks in a row, traveling back-to-back on the road 2 weeks in a row, lane one. How many times has that situation happened in the last 20 years? Well, you know what? We went back through the numbers, and 88% of the times, teams in that position would not cover that game. So they had a 12% chance of covering that game. And then you add Andrew Luck and his photographic memory, and you run the numbers, and you talk to some sharp people, and boom, you got an educated guess on how to bet the game. You know what I mean?
And another thing is, I know that in previous episodes, we've talked about being able to move lines. And where you guys or people will weigh against one team and then they'll switch mid-game and be able to really move that line. So you want to be able to tap into that action. You want to be able to plug into that network.
Well, if we're looking to take a team at plus 3.5 and the game opens 2, well then we'll bet the favorite up until it gets 3.5. We'll move that line, and then right before game time, we'll bury the other side and get the best of the number, which is a key number, which is the number 3, which is gold. So it's got a lot of value. It's worth a ton of money when you're doing that. And not everyone can do that because not everyone gets the respect from the bookmakers with their bets because they're not labeled as an advantage player or as a wise guy or whatever you want to label them. You know what I mean?
For the audience, Godfather, you say you come in earlier at the -2, they drive it up to 3.5. Now, how much more money do you bet when you come back the other side? Give an example of a percentage. You say you go 20% on one side. How hard?
Sometimes we'll come back and we'll bury. Say say we got 10 dimes on one side, and then we'll come back at plus 3.5, and we'll put up to 100 dimes on that game, man. You know what I mean?
So
if we think it's the right side with the right number over a key number. I mean, there's so much money being bet to move, in the market. And unless you're labeled an advantage player, like I said, or a wise guy, or whatever they want to call you,
right,
it's really hard to do that and manipulate the line. And people following the line moves, I mean, I tell everyone, not all steam is good steam.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to really be careful. Just because the line moves doesn't mean it's the right sign.
Yeah.
So you see a game go from 4 to 6. I mean, sometimes it doesn't mean it's a goddamn thing. One guy might be out, or two guys might be out, or worth a point each, but it really doesn't mean that it's the right side of the game.
You can't get the read just by looking at the internet.
You can stare at that thing all day. You end up getting killed. You
get fucking headaches too, man. My eyes hurt from that shit. Between that and Twitter.
Here's another question that I have, just from sheer interest. What is the influence on a key player who gets injured mid-game? Because we know about the injuries that happen.
You got live wagering.
Okay.
After you bet the game, if the guy gets injured, what can you do unless you go in the live wager and place a wager there? But of course, if a key guy, quarterback gets hurt, center gets hurt, maybe someone like Megatron is playing, even though he didn't play this weekend. That's why we bet the under in that Green Bay game. But someone like that gets hurt. Well, depends what the score is. Depends, you got to know what your position is at that point in time in the game to make an educated guess and which way you want to slap some cold hard cash down on the game.
I love that educated, calculated decision making, and that's what it comes down to. It's this is gambling no matter which way you look at it. That's why I always say expecting unexpected. You don't know when somebody's going to get hurt. So many bad calls. I watched that one call, not that it mattered, but you see Jason Witten get pushed right out of the end zone, and they didn't. It was right in front of the referee's eyes, and they blew that call. Dallas scored on, I think, the next play, but...
I mean, these refs are... You know what fucking pissed me off? Even though I won the bet, I'm watching Washington-Stanford. There's a minute left in the game.
Yeah.
Washington's driving. It's 4th down. They complete the pass for the first down. I think they were at the Stanford 35-yard line. So it looks like they're about to score. They're about to snap the ball off, and the refs fucking stop the play, and they say we're going to review.
Momentum
now,
killer.
every angle showed that it was a completed pass, okay? The refs come back, and they say it's overturned. It was an incomplete pass, and the game's over.
Right.
And I'm like, what the? Even though I covered, I was like, oh, my God. That was one of the funniest calls I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, that was a great game. There's a lot of good games this weekend. Which surprised you the most over the weekend? Florida State, they showed up.
I love that quarterback. We talked about him before, man. He's a gunslinger, man. He's a straight gangster. I really like him a lot. He can really, he's got fire in that arm.
Yeah, so who do you, now, the BCS ain't out for another week or two. Do you put any stock in that at all? Do you even look at the BCS?
I don't care what they think, man. The only thing I'm worried about is what I think, what my friends who are in the office think, what my business associates think. I want to know, what these guys think because they're betting it, man. They're putting big money behind it. So who cares what these AP polls are telling you? Who's in the top 10? They're not betting these games. I could care less.
I know they don't put any of the value as you guys put into this. And these experts, they're former athletes. That's it. They're not professional gamblers. They don't really know the business.
Well, listen, like my buddy Joey Adessa said, Dan Marino can tell you everything and anything about football. But having bet 10 games, will probably go 3-7. You know what I mean? So he's not a gambler. He can tell you, the inner workings of a football game, of the quarterback position, or what you need to do to win, blah, blah, blah. But let him pick 10 games against the spread. That's the equalizer, man. That's the fucking equalizer, the spread. And he can't do it.
For people who are listening, you're not just walking into a casino and pulling a handle and hoping, crossing your fingers and hope you win something. If you have that educated value from the network that you're plugging into, this is much more of an analytical mind that you're coming from with Danny B.
Those algorithms we're using.
Yeah.
There's so much advanced. We got software. We got advanced metrics, statistics, stuff that we use that really people don't have access to.
Exactly, and most people are just keeping their fingers crossed.
And you got 25 years of experience of going back and forth with some of the sharpest people in the world. So, it helps out.
You know what I say to that? Powerful information.
Let me call you right back.
Powerful.
On the other line.
It's amazing to have such amazing access to you guys, and I hope people. We took a week off. We're hoping that people who are tuning in, we're fired up. We're ready to take over. You know what I mean? And
we want getting people started, man. We got some big plans. The Godfather and I. It's a work in progress. You got your website working. That thing's kicking ass. It really is, and it's a great website. I keep my stuff simple because, I'm not involved like these guys. I have my own little thing, my own little approach to this. But that website's really picking up momentum, Godfather. And what is your...
Yeah, it's doing great. And I actually... I gave everyone a treat this week with college football. I gave out fucking every game that we bet. I gave out fucking NASCAR. I gave out the baseball. I gave out the hockey.
Went nuts.
I think we ended Saturday on a 10-1 run or 10. I forget exactly.
You know what? And then
I don't know a lot of people, but I gave out so many and it got so crazy. It just got fucking nuts over, on Saturday because there's so many games that we bet, and we did a great job.
And the games you gave me on top of that weren't on the website, they weren't all that bad either, my friend. You know what?
There were some of the stronger games. A couple of them were Billy's games. A couple of them were our games, and we actually did real good on Saturday. And like I said, Sunday was one of those days where I didn't like the board to begin with. There wasn't much value.
Yeah.
I mean, if you go 4-6 and you go 1-1 on sides, I mean, it's not that bad. I didn't give everything out on Sunday on the website because it just gets so busy. I'm down Delaware State Park.
Yeah,
I'm
it's hard.
bets. I'm doing all kinds of stuff. Then I got to hit up the web designer and make sure he puts the right games on the website. So there's so much stuff going on that, no one's perfect. You know what I mean?
No, it's tough, and you're trying to give a little treat, too, and for the value and the price and everything, they're getting a lot. I mean, Jesus. But I wanted to say something. I had a brain fart again. Ohio State Northwestern finished. Tell me that doesn't suck to lose a game like that.
You know what? That's funny. That's one of the games that I lost. I had Northwestern plus, I think it was 7. And if they don't lose, I think we finished Saturday like on an 11-0 run or something. It was fucking nuts. And I'm watching the game, and I'm thinking to myself, you're gold. There's no way you can lose this. And boom.
I saw it. I was like, no. I was like, because I was okay. I was like, I knew that you needed it for the site, and I was like rooting you in. And I was like, I started laughing. I go, this fucking crazy shit. That's why when I get a new guy that's never gambled before, and I just listen, don't even watch these games. They will fucking drive you fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. If we went on such a great run, I probably would have got pissed off with the game. But we kicked so much ass that it really, it was irrelevant to the,
I mean, let's just get a guesstimate out there. I know it depends, but 52 weeks in a year. I know it's a little slower during baseball season. How many weeks do you guys feel you profit throughout 52? Is it 40, 42 weeks? Can you?
I don't really know, man. Because some weeks are better than others. Like I never really
extract it like that.
I got 12 straight winning. We don't. The bottom line is turning a profit, man. At the end of the year, how much money you've made, and we bet so many different sports. We bet boxing, hockey, baseball, football, basketball, college basketball, pros. Fucking, if I get a WNBA game that someone I know sharps all over it, I'll fucking bet, WNBA. We're betting golf. We're betting NASCAR. I gave up some of the NASCAR.
Holy shit.
That's fucking great.
That's really cool.
See, I keep it to just baseball, football, and basketball.
Yeah.
And baseball, again, if you don't know my style, that's the only sport that I actually handicap. But everything else, I follow the moves, and I'm better off. I don't have time. You have a lot of guys working. You have a network of guys.
I know a lot of people too, man. So they're not all our games.
Yeah.
But I guarantee you, they're all sharp games.
Yeah, and that's what it's about. You track, and that's what I do well. I track. I know everybody, and we're not perfect either over here, but we definitely know what we're doing versus the average guy, and that's what it comes down to. Who are you going to trust? Somebody that's been doing this 30 years, 20 years, or a guy that's just in business for a year or two? It just makes sense to go with a guy that does this for a living.
About the average guy, right? For the person who's just getting interested, they may be tuning into the podcast, going to the websites. When is it the right time to maybe walk away for a little bit, take a break, figure out, how to recollect yourself and then come back to these games going through you guys and being able to get that proper analytic?
I'll start with that. You know what? I always say take a deep breath, walk away. It could take maybe a week. Depends on your finances. If you got to suck it up, regroup, you might need a couple of weeks. But my advice is if you're having a bad day, it usually doesn't get much better. So push away from the dinner table, and get out of there before you get a bellyache, so...
Well, let me break it down. Listen, we're going to win 55, 56, 57% of the time. You got a great year, you win 60% of the time. But if you don't have the willpower, and say you come in at the wrong time, and we start losing, this is not a get-rich-quick scheme, man. Like, you got to really have the willpower, have the money management, and if it's causing you stress, don't do it.
Yeah.
If you enjoy it, if you're making money with it, you're having fun with it, and you can afford to gamble, gamble. But if you can't, don't even fucking sign up. Don't even bet. Don't go in there thinking you're going to make 100 times this week or 50 times, or I'm going to bet over my head. And the Godfather likes the Raiders tonight, and I'm putting 20,000, even though I don't have it, but I just hooked up with a book. that gives me credit. Like, don't get in trouble with this, man. Like, this is
easy to do.
a business is like any other business. Just like if you invest and you open up a business, you got to work hard at it. You got to market it. You got to know the right people. You got to have the right connections in order to make money. In this country.
You know what? I've been speaking to people on the phone for 20 years now. This is my 20th football season. Started in '94 as a handicapper out in California, like I said prior. If you're honest with somebody and you tell them I'm going to hit 58%, 60%, they're I can do better on my own. Well, what's your? I'm hitting like 70%. All right, how much is your average bet? 50 to 100. I said, oh, really? So you're hitting 70% and you're only betting $50 to $100. I tell you what, that's a pretty damn impressive record there. If I'm hitting 70%, which I ain't, I'm betting fucking 100 large every game.
Listen, man, the ref with the whistle in his hand only hit 75%.
That's right. And you know what?
And he had the whistle. Ain't no one hit no fucking 70% long term.
Absolutely.
I don't give a fuck who you are, man.
And I think, you know what? I think it really takes a professional in order to be honest. If you're calling up a guy and he's saying, oh, I'm hitting, like Danny was saying, I'm hitting 70%. I can't lose. It's going to be crazy. You got to sign up with me. Drop 10 dimes on the game. Oh, it'll be so simple. That's not a guy that I want to go with. I want a guy who's going to be like you and say,
honest with somebody.
Sit me down and go, listen, what's your bankroll? Oh, okay, it's this much. Well, what are you looking to invest?
What are you looking to earn?
And what are you looking to earn?
Yeah.
And what are your goals for this? If the goal is I want to get rich,
how much money do you have to decide to invest in this business?
Absolutely.
That's number one. That won't affect the rest of the other part of your life. That's number one. Number two, you got to bet these games at a certain amount. Because if you go fucking bananas and start betting like crazy, you're not going to make money. You know what I mean? And number three, if you put $10,000 in the stock market, and at the end of the year, you got $13,000 in that account, you're telling everybody and their fucking mother, oh my God, I made fucking 30% return on my money in 1 year. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah,
but you tell a gambler that, he laughs at you.
I know. You know? And I've tried telling people that, and they don't want to hear that. They're like, being honest, sometimes they don't want to be.
Then you don't want to deal with those people because they're going to be headaches in the long run.
Well, they want to be lied to. The gambler wants to be lied to. You want to hear somebody has the key to the city, that somebody has the magic carpet, and it's not out there. I'm on radio, and you should hear some of the shit on fucking radio. I haven't lost a Pac-10 game since 1943, and that was on accident because the lightning came. I haven't done this, and I haven't done that. I've made $1 million. One guy on radio out in Los Angeles, no names mentioned, says he picked up 21,000 clients in 4 weeks. 21,000 clients. Let me tell you something. Even when we were working down in Florida years ago, we were doing well. We were making some fucking sick money. On an average week, we would only get 100 clients. And we were the biggest company at the time. For somebody to say they got 21,000 new accounts in fucking 4 weeks is obscene. It's not even 21,000 people don't even call on a radio show.
That's insane. Never
mind have that many. So there's a lot of shit out there. It depends on what you're looking for. You want to be lied to? Great. But if you want realistic results, this is something. The membership now, what is it? $20 now for the month?
It's 66 cents a day.
It's free.
You get real moves. We don't sell picks. We don't. I mean, and I got people. Oh, I'm thinking about subscribing to your website. Why should I subscribe? You know what I tell them? I don't give a shit if you subscribe or not. It's your fucking loss. That's the fucking attitude I got anymore. Because you got all these fucking idiots out here. Like, dude, if you can't afford 66 cents a day, don't even gamble, brother.
Honestly, I spend $100 a day just sitting in my own house on Amazon. If you can't spend $20 for a membership, just get lost.
That's a month.
It's ridiculous.
$20 a month.
It's ridiculous.
That's why, I'm so freaking busy with everything else in my life that when I get retards emailing me and asking me questions on Twitter, I just bust their balls, man. Because come on, man. If you can't afford 66 cents a day, $20 a month to gamble, you shouldn't be gambling.
Listen,
you're getting the best information in the world. Now you're insulting me. This is the best fucking information you're going to get on the fucking planet. And now you're asking me, should I join? Dude, I don't want to talk about it.
Philly Godfather's on fire.
No, but he's right, though. I mean, that is pretty. It's not like he's asking you for. And plus, you get some great articles. There's contests.
Absolutely.
It goes beyond just following.
There's overhead. We got writers to pay. You got marketing. You got all kinds of stuff. I'm trying to build. You know what my big dream is to build. The PGF network. So. I mean, come on, man. I mean, you sign up, you're going to make some money, you're going to have fun, you're going to get educated, you're going to get entertained, and we're going to have a good time together.
And that's what it's about, having fun, making some money, and working within yourself. Allocate what you can afford. Don't don't go outside of that. A lot of guys will keep going back. No, if you started with 20 grand, you lost 20 grand, wait till the next season. Do it all over again.
Totally.
But a lot of guys, the biggest reason that you're down money is because if you have 20 grand, you bet half of it on one fucking game. And now you're down to fucking $9,000 after the juice.
Or you're betting our games and then you're betting your own shit.
Right.
And then you're mad because you haven't made any money. And, you know, I can't help you, man. You know what I mean? Listen, I tell people all the time, I don't sell picks. I really don't like telling anyone what to bet. All I can tell you is what I got my money on.
Right.
That's all I can tell you, man. And I can tell you how I think, how I come up, you know, to this conclusion, what games I'm on. You know, we can inform you, we can educate you. But at the end of the day, all I want to tell anybody on that website is what I got my money on. I don't want to tell you what to bet. I don't want to try to sell you a pick because picks are for fucking losers, man. If you're not betting moves, you're not making money.
There you go.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line. There's a lot of guys that don't even bet the games. You know, I told you I'm not a huge bettor, but I play. I put my money where my mouth is. But some of these guys don't even know, they don't bet, and that's why you're upset. That's why guys like you come out with the website, because there's so many would-be
There's so many frauds out there. These guys ain't even fucking betting on these games. They're talking about units. Motherfucker, go pay the electric bill with a fucking unit. Go to the fucking supermarket. Go feed your kids. Come on, man. Stop fucking lying to people,
And
man.
you know what? I mean, just relating to the podcast, having truth like this is going to be a sifter for the entire industry.
It's gonna change it. It really
we're
is.
changing things around. We're having amazing
and we're
guests
getting
on.
combated. You know what? That's the fucking problem. I think the thing is because we're trying to straighten things out properly. You got the other guys that don't want you to straighten.
You got all
it
the
out.
frauds who are mad because they're not
right.
making money anymore.
And it's true. You know, listen, I was making one time millions of dollars in this business, and things have changed. Things have changed, you know, and right now I'm good. I'm okay. I've made my money. But a lot of guys are trying this and they're getting it because they spend money and they're not. And guys like the Philly Godfather are putting them out of business.
Absolutely.
Not on purpose. He's not doing
No,
it.
listen, I never meant to hurt nobody. All I'm doing is telling it how it is. Telling the truth. No one keeps track of fucking units. The only thing I care about is fucking how much profit have I turned this week.
Right.
All right? That's the bottom line. If someone's keeping track of units, they're not counting cash, man. Let's be honest.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you
Or
know,
they're trying to impress somebody, or they're trying to, you know, act
up.
like they're something they're not. I tell everyone, listen, show a fucking screenshot.
There you go.
Show a fucking ticket.
There you
I'll show
go.
screenshots where I got 2, 5, 10,000 on a game.
what,
I'll
like,
show screenshots where I got $50,000 on the line.
I saw-
No one else is doing that because no one else is fucking gambling.
I saw you put up the whole screenshot that day. That was fucked up. You had a lot of action going.
Yeah, we
I
bet
saw-
a ton of fucking games. Listen, if I'm betting 20 fucking games on a Saturday, and that was just from one account. You know how many accounts I got, Danny?
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean?
I know a lot. I know. Listen, man.
That was just one baby account. That ain't shit. Like, that's why you get all these fools on, you know, on Twitter or the internet, and they're getting mad. Listen, be mad at yourself, man. Don't be mad at me.
Yeah.
I'm doing my thing. This is what I do. This is what I live. This is the business I've chosen. You want to be a fraud? Where are you going to get exposed? The truth always comes out. The snow always melts. The truth can travel around the world 13 times, but eventually it's going to come to the forefront, and you're going to be exposed.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
you know, there is a lot of drama, unnecessary drama. You know, I've been caught up in it, and I made the mistakes to feed into it, and I'm not going to do that no more because I know what I'm about, and that's the bottom line. I mean, I got a little pissed off when they started getting a little personal,
Oh,
you know,
totally.
and that's understandable too.
But people are going to throw hate all over the
Yeah,
place.
you know what it is. But the bottom line is, you're creating a buzz, and a lot of people don't like it. Listen, I'm part of it, so I'm very excited. And this is we're looking at 5 years down the road before we get this thing up to where. This is like gambling. It takes time. It takes fucking time. But
Anything
we're gonna
good
get this.
takes time.
We
You
got
know
a
what I
lot
mean?
of great guests.
Yeah, and you got all these people on Twitter following you and being haters, and they're all handicappers, and half of them probably signed up to my website and they're selling my games. So that's why on Saturday I gave out fucking all the games we fucking
Confused
bet.
the shit
So
out
they,
of them.
they didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
No,
You know,
that's
they were like, "Oh my god, what do I do now? Which one of these do I pick?"
This is
You know what I mean?
this
So I
is
fucked their heads up on Saturday.
this is
right.
what I look for when my phone lights up and I see Godfather and I got my games. That's what I go with.
Boom.
You know, that's all I need, and people don't have access to that. And you know, I'm excited about things to come. We know we had Daryl Dawkins last show. He's over in Spain. He went over there in Spain to Spain.
Powerful Spain.
He's going to come back. He'll be on the show. We're going to have Coco Diaz. Coco is going to try to get MMA odds junk. What's the MMA junkie? Is that his handle?
Yeah, MMA junkie.
And we have Joey Odessa. I mean, you've brought some great guests. Who can we expect in the next few weeks from you?
I don't know, man. I got to make some phone calls. It depends if I'm busy. I got to reach out to some people. I'm trying to get Gabriel Rosado on. He's fighting for the middleweight title
Awesome.
this month. I think it's October 26th. He's on the Bernard Hopkins. He's actually a co-event in Atlantic City. We get him on, talk a little bit about boxing. I don't know. I got to make some phone calls, man.
You know, no matter what, we're always going to have people on who are going to give you the edge, or they're going to give you some amazing insight and stories.
Knowledge is beautiful, man.
Absolutely, and just sharing their stories, and that's what Keeping It Real is all about. You know, being able to kind of swap stories, and then also, you know, maybe drop you a little treat here and there for the weekend games. Who knows?
You know what? That's why his website over there is just perfect for the average guy. It really is. For the guys that are looking like the magic carpet or that pie in the sky mentality, we're not for you. But a guy that understands gambling, the shit that's involved with it, the highs and lows, it's perfect, man. And if you do want to talk to somebody, I'm available. I'll hear if you're a guy that's having problems managing your money and you want to ask me questions, hey, I have this, what do you think about that? Then that's great. You don't have time to do that. I have time to do that. You guys do the research, and I'm here to talk to people that want somebody to talk to them. But you know what? The bottom line is there are so many haters out there, and it's just not right. You know, Andy, you're being now persecuted yourself by a hater.
Doesn't feel good, I'll tell you that much.
I started laughing.
Yeah, the guy doesn't want you to eat, Andy. I mean, it's crazy. How the fuck this is 7 years ago.
Oh, yeah, it's crazy.
How the hell's Andy going to make a living? Like,
exactly.
Are you fucking serious?
And you know what?
Nuts.
One of those things, it's like, it's not only, it's, you know, how you guys are so passionate about this, and obviously I'm passionate about producing content. And being able to see
producing cunt?
No, producing content.
Oh, I thought you got. I was going to say, what the hell?
Nothing wrong with the other one either.
I was going to say, is that you're a pimp? Is that why you're being sued?
Oh my God, people are going to be thinking I'm photographing the wrong stuff.
Oh my
Jesus.
God, hell.
No, but you know, I'm passionate about doing stuff like this, like podcasting and photographing, and this is a different climate for a younger guy like me, and I just want to be able to work and make some money. I have a wife, you know. Eventually, I want to, you know, have a family of my own, and being able to do stuff like this is it's my dream. It's what I've always dreamed of doing.
You know what? They might slow you down now, but
they're not going to stop me, though.
Your thing starts in January.
That's
so
right.
You're
I'll be
good.
traveling the globe.
Even if you decided, okay, you know what? I don't want to.
Listen, Andy, before you get married, make sure you have 2 chicks.
Oh, son, I'm already married.
He already is married. He's already married. Yeah, Andy's
actually, you know what? I'll be celebrating 2 years with my wife on November 5th.
Well,
you're married? How old are you? Holy shit, you're married?
I'll be 27 in November 16th, and I'm
sorry to hear that.
That's Jamie's birthday.
Yes, yeah.
You're married. That's my wife's birthday.
That's right.
Yeah, I was just. We celebrated our 14th. Date 14 years ago on October 4th.
Powerful.
We've been married 13 years. I'm 51.
Yeah. Did I ever tell you about that guy who was married for 25 years? Did I ever tell you that story?
No, but let's hear it. Let's hear it.
This guy, he's married for 25 years. He wakes up on his 25th wedding anniversary.
At least he woke up.
Starts crying. So he walks down to the basement. He didn't want his wife to hear. You know what I mean? So he's down in the basement crying. He's bawling out. His wife wakes up. She's looking for him. His name is Louie. She's like, Louie, where you at? Where you at? She's looking around the house. She hears someone whimpering in the basement. So she walks down to the basement. And she sees him. And she's like, Louie, why are you whimpering? It's our 25-year wedding anniversary. And he's like, nothing. Don't worry about it. She's like, no, I love you. Please tell me. I love you. I want to know. Why are you crying on our anniversary? He goes, I'll tell you. You really want to know? She goes, yeah, I love you. I want to know. He goes, remember when I was 22 and you were 16 and your dad caught us having sex? He goes, yeah, Lou, I remember, but why are you crying? He goes, well, he gave me 2 options that day. He was either going to call the cops or I had to marry you. He goes, yeah, Louis, but why are you crying? He goes, I would have been getting out of jail today.
Hey, I got a guest here. I got Jay. Say hi to everybody.
Hi.
Say hi.
Hi.
Say, did I hurt my daddy's eye today? Did I give my daddy a black eye? Say, what did you do?
What do I got that black eye?
You hit me with the door, right?
The door.
You slam me with the door. So I'm hell on wheels.
Oh, you.
Oh, he's a good boy.
Oh man, that's good.
He's my little terror. He's my little athlete, though. My other boys are good. He's going to be the musician. He's very
Powerful.
gifted there. But here's my athlete, 4 years old, buddy. Right? You say goodbye to everybody. Say I'll see you soon.
Goodbye. See you soon.
All right, bud. Hold on. Don't get tangled up. Yeah, there you go. All right. I'll be up in a second.
Awesome.
Hey, we just picked up another office, Andy. You know, I told you about that.
Yes.
Things have been good. You
Yeah.
know, I had to get another office, and
Network's been spreading.
it's getting better.
Positive.
You know, things are getting better. You know, it's a work in progress too. Plus, I needed to. I have a couple of different locations I frequent.
That's right, yeah.
But I just needed to get out of the house and go out and be productive again because I
Uh-huh.
got lazy. Making money made me lazy, and I lost a little bit of my edge. So I'm fired up again. You gave me drive again, Godfather, to come back and really, because I've been doing this a long time, and you know, I don't know if it was burnout or whatever, but
That happens,
I
man.
found my passion again.
People
I
need
lost
to refocus,
you know?
and that.
You ever get to that point? I don't know. I mean, do you ever get to where this is like, I'm tired of this or not?
I'm doing so much shit. I'm always busy. I don't know. I really, I like the action, man. I love doing stuff, man. You know what I mean? Keep me busy, man. Just keep me moving and grooving. Whether it's
Body
gambling,
in
opening up
motion stays
businesses,
in
buying cars, watching my kids play basketball, taking them to school, fucking taking them out, whatever, man. Going to Vegas. I just love the action.
Yeah, you know what? Did you, when your kids were younger though, were you still engaged as much, or did you have a different scheduling, or?
I love the street, man. I was always out in the street, whether I was playing sports, I was boxing, I was hustling. I mean, I love
I'm
action
saying,
since
no,
I was a kid. I guess that's why I'm doing what I do.
You misunderstood. I said that wrong. I said when your kids were younger. When your kids were younger.
Oh, when my kids were younger.
Were you out there busy as you are now, or did you stay home more?
Yeah. Nah, I've always been like this, man. Listen, when you gamble and you're a professional gambler, you're working holidays, you're working weekends.
Oh, yeah.
You know, back
Same
then,
thing with
you had to go to the office, pull up on the weekend. But now you can do everything off your laptop, or you can be home. Back then, it was a little different. I had 13 phone lines in my house back then, down in Philly. So, you know, we had a bunch of people coming in, coming out.
Crazy.
You know, then I had a different house where the wife and kids were at.
Yeah.
You know, you got. It was different. It was a lot. There was no internet. You know, we had the big satellite dishes on top of the. Yeah, it was just different, man.
Do you miss it? Do you miss a little bit of the old days? Say, if you can take a little bit of today and bring it back to what year would you like to have a little bit of what we have now? At what year?
Well, I mean, our edge was a lot greater, man. There was more true positions. There was less market manipulation. Freaking, you call it, you know, knowing you. Fucking quarterback from Idaho was out. We knew 3 days ahead of time.
Right.
No one knew until game time. You know what I mean?
Right.
It was a lot different. I guess it was more fun. It was all new back then. You know what I mean? I was a kid, man. I was 18, 19,
It is
20.
exciting now.
So that was all like, wow, I'm betting on these games, and we're winning, and we're moving money, and we're going to Vegas, and we're going here. And it was just, I guess it was fresh back then, where now it's just business.
It's like just another day, yeah. I remember, too, back when we were up in Montreal, not exactly in Montreal, Broussard. It's south or west of it, whatever the hell it is. And we were up there with a bunch of Canadians in the basement. We had rented a huge home up there. We had 20, 30 phone lines. The software was so primitive. If you bet more than a 3-team parlay, we had to write it all by hand. You had to keep an eye on all the clerks because they're trying to fuck you over. But it was different, though. You're right. Injury reports.
Yeah, we were able to pass post games where the game already went off, and you tell the bookie for a rundown, and he'll run you down the fucking numbers, and he'll give you a game that we already knew went on. We're like, what? All right, give me this game, and he wouldn't even know.
The paper. There was
so many freebies like that.
I know there was a lot of bookies that used the paper lines, you know, and they were fucking. They wouldn't change them either, you know. But things have definitely changed. But one constant is the casinos make money, and the public loves to bet. You know, I think
they're building those billion-dollar casinos with your money, man. You got to be careful when you go in there. And if you don't have an edge, I mean, you got to be scared. You walk in the casino, man, I get scared.
No, it is.
Playing roulette, playing craps, you know.
Hey, I've been on a run.
You know, I play a little blackjack. We count some cards. We win some money. But other than that, every other game in that,
I know.
scares the shit out of me.
I tell you what, I've been lucky. The last show I was on, I told you I was fortunate, and just the other day I was back at the Sands, and I went on a roll again. I went on a little roulette wheel because you had told me to look for the older dealer, check out his tendency, and I tracked. The guy was a dealer for quite a while, and I got lucky, whatever. But I picked up about $4,000 again, and it's been good. It's been good. I know
a little bit, but I mean, in the long run, if you keep playing roulette, you're going to get killed.
Oh no!
If you catch the right guy at the right time who has some, the same tendencies and spins that ball from the same spot, the same position, you might win a couple bucks. You know,
but I know that it's easy come, easy go. As fast as you make it, you can give it back. And it is a beautiful casino, the Sands down there.
Yeah, you gotta come out sometime,
No, it is
Philly.
very nice. They got a lot of fights down there. It's a good joint. I got the link on my
Who's that,
website.
Bethlehem?
Yeah,
Yeah, Bethlehem.
it's actually it's in a Chuck Benaric. Remember Chuck Benaric, the old player?
Eagle?
Yeah. He's right around there.
Concrete Chuck, right?
Yeah, man. It's in his old neighborhood actually, and it's a really unique building because they have the old Bethlehem steel still intact.
That's
a lot
right.
of places. But yeah, it's a nice establishment. I'm probably gonna pop down there tonight and watch the game. But I'm not playing roulette. I'm just gonna I'm gonna go. Actually,
Well, listen, do they give you any like free comps or free
They good.
vouchers to play blackjack or anything?
not as far as vouchers for the games, but they're good with the food. They give they're good, great.
Free
they're-
drinks and
Yeah,
shit
the
like
drinks
that.
and the rooms and stuff. But I've never gotten a free voucher to play. Besides the slots, give you the free $35 a week to
Yeah,
play with.
yeah.
I've never gotten a free here's $200. Go play blackjack with it.
That would be dope.
Well, actually, they'd be smart because I got caught up in the chase, and then that 200 turned into $2,000 out of my pocket. So what the fuck? But no, they got some good emeralds. Guff, they got emeralds down there, pretty damn good. They got Emerald Steakhouse, and they got the Italian joint. So they got good calamari down there. But it's a nice little place. We were trying to get
Do they saute the calamari or is it fried?
They
it's
have
fried.
I like the sauteed calamari.
They have
so
that
it's
at the Italian kitchen. They have that, but they put it in a different. It's not a red sauce. It's kind of like a.
It's fucking good.
It's
is what
really
it is.
good. It's beefy. It's very. It's not fried. It's really good. You gotta next time.
They got a good wine selection down there?
They do. They do. You
Yeah.
gotta come down. Next time.
I gotta go check it out.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
that'd be
definitely worth the trip. They got the outlets in there too. Very nice.
Absolutely.
A lot of fine dining, good shows too. You get a lot of good shows
It's
done.
brought a lot of cool shit to our area. They're
Yeah,
trying
they-
to make it a bridge between New York and Philadelphia, so
It's getting a lot of traffic, man.
starting to become cool.
Next thing you got to do is put the sports books in all of these son of a bitches. That's
Yeah,
it.
for
That
real.
will all be good, where people can feel comfortable, How many people got burnt? I can tell you nightmare stories. Casinos paying weekly with an A in it. They used to spell
Yeah.
it weekly with two E's. Now they spell weekly WEAK. LY. But anyway, yeah, things have changed a lot, and Las Vegas wasn't. Las Vegas was not built on public perception. That's for sure. They, they keep building. It's not just a flamingo no more. That place is quite. But anything you want to say before we wrap up the show? I know you said the Jets in the under tonight. Maybe tease alert. What are they still got the 14-point teasers, the sweetheart teasers? Remember them things?
Yeah, they each had three 10-point teasers. They had all kinds.
Fucking nuts.
They try to come up with every angle they could to take your fucking money.
And they do a good job at that. That's why out of the 100%, only 2%, 3% make money at this. I guess that's no different than the stock market or most investors. Most people belly up and, they find themselves with rabbit ears and lint and bubblegum fucking wrappers in their pocket.
Just like anything else, you get what you put into it. If you put in 10, 12 hours a day, you're going to get a better return. If you put in an hour a day and you don't want to listen to nobody, and you're just picking games, well, I wish you the best of luck.
Well, you know what? I had a hard time. I gave out Baltimore yesterday, and I had a hard time. I had to squeeze it down a guy's fucking throat. I had to squeeze it down because he's a Miami fan. I was like, fuck. Take the fucking thing. Then he asked me for another game, and that game fucking lost. So fuck you. That's what you got. He's like, I won't bet that. Give me another one. I'm like, all right, try this then. The fuck.
And then the other problem is, I tell people what I bet, and then they ask me about games I didn't bet on, and I tell them, I can tell you what I think, but if I didn't put money behind it, how much is it really worth?
And that's the bottom line. They want to hold you to an opinion, and you're telling them, he sucks. He gave me an. It's all about the individual. Realistic people know better, and that's what I look for in radio too. I spend a lot of money on radio, and I'm not fucking sitting here promising them no 90% or 80% shit. I'm looking for guys with the right mindset that can help move money for us. That's what it's about. The more outlets, the more people moving, the better off everybody is. But anyway, another good show.
Powerful show.
We'll be back on Friday. I'm sure we can dig up a guest. I don't think Daryl will be in, but hopefully I can get Coco to drop us in a call.
Oh, that'd be great.
He called me last night asking me after the Cowboy game went final. He goes, what was that spread, 3.5? I go, no, that thing closed at 9. He goes, 9? Oh, fuck. And then he's like, I got a fucking microphone on. Let me get the fuck out of here. And I was like, okay, good talking to you again there, Coco. But always
hopefully the Jets pass rush can get to Matty Ryan tonight. They're second in the league. I think they got 14 sacks behind Kansas City. So if they can put some pressure on Matty Ice, I think they'll keep that game close as long as Geno Smith don't throw no freaking interceptions.
Yeah.
I think he has almost 10. I think he's got 8 interceptions on the year. So, and that's if he's even playing. I know he's banged up too. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's a crazy game, and a lot of guys are out, and hopefully the Jets cover the spread.
Yeah, and again, it's one game board. There's a lot of people that more options. That's one thing I like about college basketball. You know, you got multi-options 7 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
With football, even when they play Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, there's only that 1 or 2 games to choose from. And I like options. I'm big on options. If it's Monday night, put a gun to my head, I'm going to follow what the Godfather recommends. But I also know Saturday, which most people here, Andy, where they go wrong is they can't wait. They got the fucking syringe. It's
Can't
like
get the needle out of
Degato.
there.
You know what a Degato is?
Oh, yeah.
It's a junkie in Spanish. Degato. You got to pull a syringe out of the arm. But anyway, we're going to pull the plug on the show, Godfather. Good talking to you as always. I'll talk to you later in the day. And I want to, have anything before we close the show there, Steve-O?
Yeah, that's it, man. It was a great show, Andy. Have good luck with that case.
Thank you, my brother.
And if you need me to send some people to talk to them, let me know.
Oh, shit.
Uh-oh.
You heard it here
I'll talk
first.
to you guys later.
Hey, have a good one. PhillyGodfather.com. PhillyGodfather.com. Well, Andy, again.
Powerful show today.
Yeah,
Really
always
good.
He's always brings a lot of boomph to the show.
Absolutely. It's
Good guy,
Good to be back on the horse after a week off.
I took a little bit of time. Just a little clear my head,
You got to do that
I got
sometimes.
personal shit going on in my life, too. Like I said, there's a part of me that just wanted to say, fuck all this shit. I'm good.
Yeah.
I got money. I don't need this fucking headache. I don't need to be traumatized or having my family brought into anything for no fucking reason at all. So, I'm just doing my thing. I'm just going to put the blinders on. I'm going to move forward.
Absolutely.
I'm expanding.
The best
I
thing that
decided one day I was going to just say, fuck it. Now I said, fuck it. And I went and got an office.
Yeah.
I'm going to expand. I got my place up in Long Island, up in Hoboken.
That's
so
right.
things are good.
The best thing you could do is just try. I mean, what I'm learning is just trying to stay positive, not fold under the pressure, and just keep pushing forward, man. And that's what you're doing, and it's been great.
That's life, man. That's the story. You get knocked down, you get the fuck back on that horse. You fall, you get back. And there's times that it gets hard. You want to just bury your fucking self like an ostrich.
Oh, yeah, put
not
your head in
come
the
out of
sand.
there,
But
go in the room and not come out of the bed. That's what happened to my mother. She got so depressed when my brother went back to, got into trouble again. Because she had a lot of hopes that Gary was going to do the right thing and they can get in a place together. And she got really depressed by that, and she wound up laying in bed to where she got the blood clots going because no circulation. So she got in time. So, I'm back in the game mentally, a little sidetracked. It happens in life. We all get a little off track once in a while.
it does happen.
I got the kids keeping me busy, and
That's
they're
right.
always a handful. And
We got games to play.
always got games to play, literally Monopoly and everything else. But anyway, I want to thank everybody for tuning in, and we'll be back Friday at 1 o'clock Eastern.
Absolutely.
Thanks, everybody. We'll talk to you soon.